Forgetting is actually a good thing. It's a good part of our lives because it helps us to get rid of irrelevant information, bad memories, and also recover from traumatic situations. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 apps you can use to control what you want to remember and what you want to forget. Okay, so if you don't watch this video till the end, it means you are going to choose to continue to forget what you have been learning. You click on this video because you want to stop forgetting unintentionally. So get ready. I'm going to show you how to turn your ostrich brain into an elephant's brain.
Oh, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, just kidding.
Please, I'm just kidding. Elephant's brain are actually known, according to research, to be almost perfect. They can remember as long as 25-year-old memories. This is due to the fact that they have about 257 billion neurons. That's one of the highest among animals, now which is more than that of humans. But you see, forgetting shouldn't be unintentional. Otherwise, school is going to be a place to prove that you have a perfect brain, other than a place where knowledge is imparted. Now, the 2 apps I mentioned, they all work on the principles of spaced repetition and an active recall. They complement each other. You can't do away with one. Now, the most popular one is Anki. Now, you might be hearing active recall and spaced repetition for the first time. So what is active recall? What is spaced repetition? Okay, so active recall. Now, it's one of the unbeatable principles which has helped me in studying, and I would also want you to start using it. You know, it's not known to a lot of learners despite the numerous scientific literature written about it for many years. Active recall means being asked a question and then try to remember the answer. This is opposite to the passive studying where you read, watch, or listen to something without pausing to consider if you know the answer. Research shows that active recall testing is a way which is more effective at building strong memories than just passive studying, just reading alone, writing alone, or just watching a video. Now, spaced repetition. Spaced repetition came about through a research done by a psychologist known as Hermann Ebbinghaus, who memorized a lot of nonsense syllables and then looked at the rate at which he forgot them. You can do a Google search to actually read more about it. I don't want to go into details. But the spaced repetition is also known as the spacing effect. It spreads reviews out over time. You know, we revise our notes, but we read our note at the beginning of the semester and then revise it when the exam is approaching. Now, according to Hermann Ebbinghaus, that's the wrong way. Now, the best way to go about it is to spread the reviews out over time. What happens is that we'll tend to remember more effectively by this approach than studying multiple times in one session. Now, I'm going to do a demonstration on each of the apps I mentioned, and you are going to get the understanding from there. Now, to the first app, which is Anki, which is popular to a lot of students. Anki is basically used for making flashcards, and I already spoke about active recall testing. So use Anki for that. Every time you answer a question, you follow with a feedback. You, the one answering the question, you follow with a feedback, and you tell how well you remembered the answer. Whether you forgot it completely, made a mistake, it was challenging while remembering, or you easily remembered. The app uses your feedback to decide the right time to show you the question again. Since information becomes more memorable when you recall, the times between the reviews gets bigger and bigger. And as the reviews get bigger and bigger, you tend to remember it in a long term. So before I show you how to create flashcards on the Anki app, which you are seeing at the moment, I just want to test your knowledge. How many neurons are in the brain of an elephant? So let's say you remember or you don't remember. You just need to tap on show answer. Now, if it was easier for you to remember, you tap on the blue button. If it wasn't very good, if it wasn't very easy, you tap on the good. If it was a little bit hard, you tap on the hard. I couldn't remember at all, or you would want the question to be shown to you again, you tap on again. So it means that if you have a list of questions you are going to be answering, maybe you have 10 flashcards, what happens is that when you choose again, the question is going to be shown to you in the next 1 minute. And if you choose hard, it means in the next 6 minutes. It means as you are answering the other questions, this is an app which has been programmed, using the space repetition system. And the more the question is shown to you, you still have the opportunity to answer it right. So you find it very easy to remember. Now, the Anki app gives you a number of days or a gap to almost forget. Now, this is based on research. So in the next 4 days, this question is going to be shown to you. And as time goes on, if it's shown to you in months, it means that the information has been moved to your short-term memory, to your long-term memory. So it becomes easier for you to remember. And that is the principle behind the Anki app. So let's see how to create flashcard on the Anki app. So there are some words you need to know. First of all, you need to know what a deck is. You need to know what a flashcard is. This is not a video to talk about how to use the Anki app. I just want to show you how to create a flashcard. Now, these are some decks I have created and I've not been able to visit them for a while. Don't worry, I would just have to find time and then visit them. So this is what you can see at the video quiz. There's a question I asked you. So I had to create a deck. So when I tapped on it, you see it is opened. So I just need to go back and show you how to create. Now when you open the Anki app for the first time, you won't have all these for the bold writings in French, our French and so on. No. So you just see this plus button. So you tap on the plus button. So you can see create deck, get share decks, add note. Now let me start with the get share decks. Get share decks are created decks for you which are online, which you can download. But I just want to show you how to create a deck. So when you create a deck, having a deck means you can put in flashcards, or a deck contains flashcards. So you can put in more than 1,000 flashcards if you want. So you tap on, first of all, you tap on the plus button and you tap on create deck. Then give a name to the deck. So let's see, I want to give it Study by Yourself. Done. Now, this deck is empty, so I tap on Study by Yourself. It's telling me the deck is empty. What do? I have to add a card. So I tap on it, I tap on add card. So I have this interface. You can see type, you can see basic. Just allow it to be like that. This is not a tutorial for how Anki works. So I'll just show you the simple way. So you can see front. Now when you take a flashcard, the front of it has the question, then the back has the answer. So I'm going to type the question in front. So what is the name of the most forgetful animal? And tap on next. So the question has been put on the front. So the back, in the video I mentioned ostrich. Done. So once I tap on done, I can change the font and everything, but that's not for today. So I tap on the correct. When I tap on correct, that card has been added. I'm now given an opportunity to create another card which is going to be put in the Study by Yourself deck. So for the sake of the video, I don't want the video to be very long, so I just go back. So I tap on Study by Yourself. You see the question is here. What is the name of the most forgetful animal? Show answer. So you see the ostrich is below. So you can just follow this simple procedure and then add more flashcards to your deck. Now, what if you're a student or you are one who is not interested in making flashcards? Because there's a school of thought which talks about high order learning, and they say using of flashcards is mostly used to remember facts which do not relate to other things you are learning. So when I got that knowledge, I began doing a search. I found an app called Studi. I don't know whether to call it Study or Studi. Studi. Studi is actually a study planner and a reminder. The app reminds you to review what you've studied and you remember the subject over a longer period of time. And this is where space repetition comes in. So if you are studying about 6 courses and you want to apply the space repetition approach, Studi is your go-to app. This is the interface of the Studi app, and all you can see here, it's a calendar. So without much ado, I just show you how to add subjects and then review days to your study timetable using the Studi app. So you tap on the plus button. There's a plus button up here. You tap on the plus button. So you ask for the resource, the topic, the page numbers of the textbook, the duration, study time, and then your notes as well, the reminder. And you have a date, the beginning date. So what you can see is today's date. So you can change the date. Okay, then the end date definitely is in the next 1 month. So you can change it. When you tap on the review interval, now the review count remains 5. Review interval. So you can choose 1, 7, 30 days, and then 90 days. So it means that after 24 hours, whatever you studied is going to be shown to you. Then you have to revise it after 7 days, after 30 days, and after 90 days. Then the next one, 1 day, 5. So everything you see here is just about the number of days. So let's go with the first one. Then we tap on OK. Now you can also choose to create your own. So you can tap on create your own. You now give the interval. So I filled it. I filled the resource, which is the textbook, the topic, the page numbers, the duration, the trig functions. Now this can be done manually, but it's going to be very time consuming and cumbersome if you are moving from place to place, always looking into the book you wrote it into. Now the Studi app has a reminder, so you always have a notification of what you are supposed to study next. And in school, in class, you have a lot of subjects you are studying. So once you input it, you are always following the routine of revising what you are supposed to revise using this space repetition system so that you don't forget. So afterwards, you just tap on the correct button on top here and it says course added. So course is added. So I come back, the course is added. And when I tap on it, it's just showing me the days that I have to review. So today is on the 15th, so on the 16th, on the 22nd, I'm going to be reminded to revise. So let's see if I can move to the next date. So on the 14th again. So that is it with the Studi app. So now to the students who do not have the opportunity to use smartphones or devices in their school. How do you use this Studi approach? So all you have to do is just get a book dedicated to beating the forgetting curve, and you need to be filling the book with a subject you study every day. Now you're going to have columns. So the first column will have the subjects, and next following columns would have your times for revision. So the first one will have the 24-hour revision, which is when you study after 24 hours. So just write 24 hours on top, rule a line, write 3 days, rule a line, write 1 week, rule a line, then 1 month, rule another line. So what you do is anytime you study a topic, what you do is you need to follow the strategy to beat the forgetting curve, which is studying it in regular intervals. And according to research, these number of regular intervals will help you remember whatever you have studied. So when you study, for example, a particular topic and then you revise it after 1 day, you just tick. After 3 days, you tick. And you should have in mind that every day you are studying something new. So every day you are adding more subjects, you are revising, and you are taking. So while you are taking to do the revision, you are learning the new subjects. And you will have a regular way of learning, and you will have something to learn every day. This will prevent you from having a free day, moving around without knowing what to study. If you are the one who is always learning by memorizing and not having conceptual understanding in whatever you are studying, you realize that it's going to be piling up, and then you really find it difficult to revise because you have a lot of information to revise. Now I'll talk about conceptual learning in the upcoming video, where you know the difference between exploratory learning and then memorizing. Thank you for watching this video. I know you come back for more. Keep studying by yourself.